Hey guys, welcome back. It is Lucid. We have another turn for Bumble Rumble. I just got it a minute ago, so it's very fresh. I took a peek at it, but let's pull it up. So, turn 51, which means we are probably at least halfway through this game. I mentioned at the end of the last episode that I needed to trade for water gems, and I was very industrious, messaging almost anybody that would hear me to see if they would trade me for water gems. And I traded a bunch. Let's see if I can remember what I traded. I think Pythium, I traded them air gems for water. Man, I think I gave him death gems for water. And Marignon, I gave... Oh, what did I give Marignon? I can't remember. I think I gave Marignon air gems as well, but I can't totally remember. We can go back. We're gonna go back and check. Who did I give gems to? Let's pull up the last turn we already saw. Okay, we gave air to Man, air to Pythium, and death to Marignon. So we got a bunch of water gems. So in total, we traded for about like 33 or 34. Which is kind of a lot. Well, I mean, it's one turn of income for us, but yeah. So we have a message from Micklin. As the Morning Eagle Warrior stads before his dying god, homing pigeon utters in his dying breath, "Take my feathers and spread them to all corners of the world. Let their contributing wisdom be my pathway to immortality. Send them even to my enemies. Perhaps it will help them transcend beyond their own wickedness." The Eagle Warrior takes a deep breath and flies off the platform, his final sacred task. So, and then I don't know what OC stands for, but I think it's like an interpretation. So I've basically been defeated, but I've had a lot of fun. Also fun were the discussions on Discord about death baskets and stuff like that. As a wink to that, I'll send everybody, including Tianchi, who's the guy who defeated him, an owl quill. So, cool. That's a really cool way to end. I actually really like the idea of giving like a small little trinket to everybody when you die, as opposed to like the true death basket where you give everything to one person. I think there's situations maybe where it makes sense, like if it's like everybody versus one player because that player's about to win and you get killed, I think it would make sense to maybe death basket everybody on your team. But aside from that, it's a preference. The thing is, when you die, like when you lose in the game, you can go out however you want. That's kind of how it is. But I think this is a very respectful way to go out. A very cool way. So we've been casting Dark Knowledge, but not with much success. We cast Mind Hunt. We're going for a big gamble here to see if we got somebody, because they all had good items on them. I don't think we got anybody, which is unfortunate. And then with Dark Knowledge again, didn't get anything. Then, so if you recall, we had a guy cast Returning, and unfortunately, he got attacked by a Greater Otherness, which is actually a really... So if you haven't seen it, this is what the Void looks like. A pretty cool place to do battle. I'm sure my Atlantean is like, what the fuck is going on? But this is a Greater Otherness, so they're pretty scary. They're like big, high morale elephants that regenerate. And have a bunch of elemental resistances. They're pretty sick. But we have Ususu, King of the Deep, with a full kit of gear. Now, he has a big penalty for being... It's not shown here, but in built-in... He has better stats in this. Built into this is a big penalty for being in the Void. And unfortunately, our normal, like, cold attacks aren't going to work from the Frostbrand. So we're just going to have to rely on the chance that we can actually smack him, because he has really shitty defense too. Okay, there we go. We smacked the shit out of him. Way to go, Ususu. I actually need to rename you if you make it back. Gotta name it after one of the commenters. Of course, when you're watching this, it's too late. So if you just have relevant, interesting comments that you put in videos normally, or if you're a Patreon subscriber, you will ultimately, eventually, given enough time, make it into the game. If you particularly want to make it into a game, you can ask, kind of. I don't really like those kind of comments, though. They're like something I have to read that, you know. They're fine. You can ask. I'll put you in. But I'd prefer, you don't have to ask. All you have to do is say something interesting about the game, and eventually I'll get you put in. What I normally do to put people in the game is either I do my Patreon subscribers, or I like click on comments and I just see who commented recently whenever I'm recording the video, and I just pick somebody. Okay, so we were attacking, this is the province where Ususu attacked, and then got kind of... oh no, this wasn't it. This is where we ran into their cavalry, and then we were killing them all, but we failed a morale check, and then we ran, and then we died when we retreated. So we had that back now. We took that. Very good. We only lost 2 guys, so that's fine. Coming down here, there was a battle somewhere in the Woods of the Weeping. So he's sending his little knights stack out, and they're going to go attack my Indies. I mean, my PD. What you saw there, I don't know if you saw it, how they flanked around the side and then came back and hit my commanders. If you do a bigger PD dump, it's not really going to protect against that. So, if you do a big PD dump, whoops, you kind of have to protect it. Like, put commanders in there that are not going to fall victim to that. But then, you have to worry about the Movarks, who are pretty sneaky. They will elf you. Okay, so that was that. We killed 6 of them, which actually isn't horrible. Because these guys aren't terribly cheap. They're 30 gold. So 6 times 30 is, like... math fail, excuse me. It's like 180. So almost 200 bucks he lost. That was probably about the amount I put in PD, so that's not really a bad deal. We see Micklin kind of desperately grasping out at TC. It's kind of cool. I'm really glad, actually, that... So Sequane, I've mentioned this before, is playing TNC. I'm really glad he's doing well. I think it's really cool. TNC is a finesse nation. They're not a nation of brute force, really. They have a bunch of mages, which are, like, kind of weird. And, yeah, you're not going to brute force your way to a victory easily with them. Okay, so let's talk about what this means. This is my thug that is going to attack the fort. Okay, so we had 2 forts in Pelagia that are left. One of them I've got an army on. I'm going to try to storm. Another one, there was an army in it that I was expecting to attack the army I have on the other fort. And I sent a thug in to fight what was ever on top of this fort right here, which I think had the army in it that I thought was going to go attack the other fort. The reason is because if I kill these guys, then I will, like, cut off all retreat, which is something I definitely want to do. And he also can't recruit anymore. So, potentially, if he takes everybody and attacks me in that other fort, which I think is the play I would do, then if I take this behind him, not only will he have, like, literally launched every single person at me, and I can potentially kill them, but, in addition... he won't be able to recruit anymore. And I don't have to worry about him doing like a PD dump. It's done. The risk with this, because this was a risky move, even one high Astral Mage doing Soul Slay or Paralyze, I could have lost. Okay, so indeed he did attack me on the Faraway Sea, which is the fort I was sieging. So let's see what... Okay, it was everything. So these are all his mages that are left. Let's see what he's got here. So he's got a bunch of the Coral Clan Hoplites. And a lot of these guys have, like, 1 gem. There's some nature gems. Okay, some of them have 1 gem. I think most of these guys are probably going to do Soul Slay spam. So I'm glad my god isn't here, because this is actually a pretty big... Some of these are probably communion slaves, if we're going to be just honest about it. But on my side, we have my little formation. These guys were set up to kill the gym baiters. These guys were supposed to be buried in the back. I don't know how they got in the front. Because they're supposed to sit back here and get all buffed up instead of just running headlong into combat. But apparently they're going to run headlong in. So, I don't know if these monster fish are going to be long for the world. The problem is, if they're doing Soul Slay, a huge HP bag like these monster fish with very low MR, they are going to be Soul Slay magnets. Okay, and like that, they are all gone. Rest in peace, monster fish. Those were 10 gems apiece, so that was 20 water gems, just right down the hole. I want to use them, I kind of wanted to use them for flavor, but I think once I got them and I realized I was going to be fighting nations, which most underwater nations have some astral, I realized it was potentially going to be a problem. So we've got Foul Vapors up. Now let's take a look around. So he has not... Oh, no, he did get some poison resistance out. Okay, so his front line got poison resistance. I think a lot of his mages don't have it, though. Okay, so his mages do not have poison resistance. Let's go back and watch that, because I'm not actually sure how that part went. Let's watch him do the... I think this guy was the guy casting Poison Ward. So he probably Communion Mastered Poison Ward. The thing is, his guys aren't really clumped up enough to get a good Poison Ward casting off. Okay, so these guys got it. But that's it. So these guys do not have Poison Ward. What was this? That was Poison Ward. It went off again over here. So he knew you know, this is a solid script. He knew I was going to be doing Foul Vapors. There goes Frozen Heart. Okay, Soul Slay, making us kind of pay the tax. So looking a little dicey. We have Shark Attack off. Now, I'm really glad that we put an army on top of it that could one-turn pop it, because if I had anything less, he could have gem baited me, and then maybe I wouldn't have had all my stuff, or Poison Foul Vapors could have hurt me. So I'm really glad we got this kind of taken care of semi-quickly. Now, the sharks are coming out, and they're actually pretty low MR. Okay, pretty low is an understatement. They're extremely low MR. But they have high HP, so they're actually like great targets for his mages, which is fine by me because it's going to keep my guys from dying. Meanwhile, we are chopping their guys to little pieces. And I think these guys have coral weapons. So actually getting Poison Ward off in a fight normally is actually really nice, because it's going to keep you from taking a lot of the poison damage that otherwise would kind of end up killing a lot more of our guys. Now, in the back line over here, what are we casting? Word of Power. Okay, we've got this guy who's a big wimp and runs away. We need to check retreat details and make sure, see if our guys die. Okay, we're actually losing a fair number of people in the retreat. Okay, but we got most of his stuff. Now let's take a look at the battle report here. So, almost everybody died. And the ones who retreated of his, I think I've cut off their retreat route. Unless I don't take the fort. If I don't take the fort, then there's the chance that they could kind of retreat into the fort, I believe. On my side, it was expensive. We lost almost all of our Ichthids and almost all of our Kalulus. But those are kind of chaff, so I don't really care. We lost our Monster Fish, which sucks, but our Mother Guard mostly made it, and our War Shamblers, we lost about a third of them, or a little more than that. So this I'll take, you know, because we do not have, like, super good troops that are not gonna, you know, be zero attrition, at least until we get much better research. And I think we basically wiped out all of his stuff. So I don't know what we're gonna find in this next battle, which is in the fortress underneath. Okay, and yeah, there's nothing here. So hopefully we don't kill ourselves with Foul Vapors or anything really dumb. But the Poison Wards go off. I think everybody is duly Poison Warded. We've got Foul Vapors up. Okay, and people run. Perfect. Okay, we lost like one guy. Okay, guys, that's it. We have done it. Oh, we lost the Coral Queen? Ah, that's shitty. I don't even know where they would retreat to. I guess there's a land province nearby. But morale is not really our strong suit. We're like 13, 14. It's kind of unfortunate. Such is life, though. Let's see how many people when they retreated here. Okay, so the people that retreated were from this other battle. So let's take a look. We lost the Coral Queen, and that's it. Okay, all the other mages that made it back were okay. So I can live with that. I can live with that. So we now have a new fort, and we have this one, which I think has nobody in it. with a giant anemone, which is okay. And we have a lab, so we just need to put up a temple here. And I haven't really played much of this turnout. I need to put up a temple here, and then we'll start getting our dominion spread. And all will be good. I think we're going to take, because we don't really care about leadership that much anymore, we'll go ahead and just take everybody off. And, like, you are going to preach, and one of you is going to build a temple. Dominion is going to be king for us. Okay, we're making a coral queen here. I think we'll make one of you here. This is a kind of big army. We'll see what happens. Okay, there's a few people that retreated here. There's a few people that retreated here. We may end up needing some of these guys to kind of knock down these fort walls. So I think the first thing we're going to do is put these guys out here. Okay. So, I mean, honestly, this went better than I thought it could. The other thing I haven't taken a look at is how many... Okay, we have 108. We are going to overcast the shit out of that Maelstrom in about T-minus... how many turns? 2 turns. 2 turns we'll have it, 3rd turn we'll cast it. Maelstrom doesn't give you a ton of water income back, so it's not going to pay for itself in water, but it's going to give him a fair amount of astral. It's possible he has Movarks here. I think there's a good chance there's Movarks somewhere. He's got trolls here. The trolls don't really scare me. His mages have merged up with his army here. I think it's time to send our god over this way. Our god and Steen. Let's rename Steen. Let's name Steen Meadmaker. You have a very important job to fulfill, Meadmaker. It is fluffing. It makes me laugh to say it. Your job is to fluff my octopus. Okay. So we're going to send them inside the fort. The other thing, we've got this army coming up is like an insurance policy. But I need to give it water gems. So I think we're going to put some water gems over here. Doesn't need many, it just needs enough to get acid rain off maybe twice. Can we do a PD? Oh, it's shitty PD. We'll do 10 though. Just to break lance charges, and then these guys will be back here. And I think we'll just give them, you know, typical quickness casting. Unless I have something in particular I'd like to do, which I don't. So we'll just do quickness. Hold an attack. And then I think you can just do body ethereal. For those of you who don't know, you hit the X key once you got your first one, and it will just fill out the repeat the last order. Super useful if you're trying to do scripts quickly. So, conservative gem usage, fine. We do have Acid Storm. We just don't have enough gems on this guy to cast it, unfortunately, because I was not forethinking enough. It's kind of one of the reasons we're merging him up. Highly likely, I think they move here. There's also a chance they move inside. That's fine. Now that this war with Pelagia is dying down, I can give even more attention to this war with Ys. Who knew I would be so bold as to voluntarily enter into a second war before my first one was over? Okay. I don't think you need boots, dude. We've been spamming out Dark Knowledge. Have we found anything important? It needs to be cast here. I don't really like the way this looks. But he probably doesn't like the way this looks either. It's okay. If it's in our Dominion, we can defend it from the squid. One thing I also learned too, I tested it, is I can take the Amulet of the Fish off and put, you know, like an Amulet of Anti-Magic on it, which will make it where I will die if I spend the next turn on land. But if I teleport this turn, next turn I'm in the water, I'm cool. Does not get me. We can strand these Heavy Cav here, which will put them in a big blob formation. And potentially we can attack them. I don't know if that's really worth a pearl. Probably is. They're going to raid me. Well, but if they raid me here, that could be a good thing. If they raid me here, it's probably not a good thing. This is a swamp. I don't think they can get from here very quickly. Like 23? I think that's one too many movement for them, especially if it's through enemy territory. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do some of our like micromanagement stuff. Like, I don't want to put Skull Mentors on guys with lanterns if I can help it, because there's a chance that people with lanterns get paid a little visit. And like to avoid losing Skull Mentors. I think that was something I went and did the end of last turn. I realized I have a big death income, and especially once you have high death path access, there are better things to spend your death gems on than Skull Mentors, but right now I don't really have the research to do any of that. And rather than like have them build up, I would rather go ahead and convert them into more research so that I can spend them sooner, as well as other things. So you can see our research is now at a respectable 1,600. This is, you have to get in the thousands. We're getting there a little slow, but we're getting there okay. We are probably in the top third of research now. But we are probably significantly far behind the person who's in first. That's kind of my guess for research. Because we're very slow in getting started. Yeah, but we're probably like position 3, is what I think. Could be wrong. But we're probably a long way away from number 1. Yeah, we'll see. I wish I got Ususu back. Okay, so now I have to think about what we're gonna do. Have I done all the micromanagement stuff? No, not quite. Hammers all over the place, rings of returning. I have 2? I only needed 1. Shit. Okay, let's go ahead and kit you with a ring of returning. She's also going to need a thistle mace. Now she can properly fluff my god. Or he, mead maker. Sorry, buddy. So we'll send them over here. Now, I don't have to script them yet, because there's no way they can have combat. The fort, we can see they started knocking through the wall. So it was 180 last turn, it's down to 100. So it's still the same Movark Knights on top. What I'm imagining is they're going to bring the trolls. And the trolls are going to assist the Movark Knights in knocking down the fort walls, because they have good siege strength. Yeah. Slave market's back in my command, which is always very nice. I always love a good opportunity to break into blood. And coral swords. Okay, don't know where your spot is. I kind of want to put a hat on her too. One thing I need to think about is having a nature mage in all of my important provinces that I can fluff with my god, so I probably need to get one over here. So that probably should be like a little mini objective here, is let's go ahead and get a nature mage up here so that if I get attacked, you know, she can do her thing. We've got a temple built here now, which is nice. We can start preaching. And I think we're going to let this guy... Oh, did I click that? -2. That means it just started, because I can go back to -2. Okay. Let's build a coral queen. We need to get our dominion here. Okay. You're going to walk around. We built a ring of regeneration. Now, I think there's a question, what do I want to do with my nature gems? There's a good argument to be made for stealing Mother Oak. I think I can do it now that I have enchantresses popping out. I just need... What? This one is... No, she's nature 1. I just need a nature 2, which I had a nature 2. But she got disappeared. So... oh, I didn't show you that event, did I? Oh, maybe I did. It was the last turn. Yeah, we got the fire. We got +1 fire, and then we also got sent to the infernal plane. So that was not really a good thing for us. We're gonna go ahead and move these guys out. Who do I want to send inside? I don't think I need to do Fel Vapors. I think we can kind of rest our laurels with Fel Vaporing for now. And I think this was almost his whole army. So, I think what we're going to do... I think you guys can research... I think we're honestly just going to send a thug in with, like, 1 Astral Mage to do anti-magic type of shenanigans. And then maybe 1 guy spamming out water elementals. Ring of Frost? Somebody just like you. Okay. I think maybe we send 2. We'll send 2. We'll put a few on you. And that should be enough. One thing I want to go check, we'll go check real quick, is how many dudes were actually in here. So this battle was for 120. So I've saved that turn. Let's go check turn 2 turns ago, which is before I laid siege. Is at about 120 combined in these two. We've got 60 and 30. Yeah, so that's about 100. So 120 should be everybody. Because he would have had like maybe 1 more turn of recruitment in that other fort. So I think that was everyone. So a thug and a few water mages is overkill, but I'm kind of fine with a little overkill right now. I don't want any surprises at this point. Yeah. Now, I think I sent a message to him too, saying, hey, dude, was a great underwater battle and war. I learned a lot and had fun. Hope you did too. Okay. So he was I really liked his diplomacy too. He did a lot of threats. He followed them up. He said he would march stuff into my land, or he said he would spend hundreds of water gems on water elementals on me if I interrupted his war with Relay, and I did, and he spent them. He told Relay he would march an army to his capital if Relay didn't let him then fight me. He did everything he could to try to break our coalition. So I really like how he did it. It kind of sucks spawning in the middle, but the way cartographic revision works is it normally doesn't do... Like, if there's a big ocean system, very rarely is it all mutually connected. It's normally kind of like a line. So somebody's got to be in the middle, and Pelagia is the nation to do it, because they are kind of the gods of underwater, especially early. So, anyway, I think he played pretty damn well. I think he was going to get double-teamed by us pretty much no matter what. But yeah, I think it was a good game. It was a good game. I learned a lot. And if I didn't have my Pretender God and didn't use him appropriately, if I took like some shitty Awake expander that could have wrecked, like I would have expanded way faster if I didn't have Mr. Hands, who's the fucking man. If you excuse my French. If I didn't have any of those things, then I would have lost this war and he would have like literally taken all of my shit. So it could have totally gone the other way. Yeah. But Mr. Hands came through, and I think that's really the reason I'm sending him a good game message instead of him sending me one. It definitely wasn't my national troops, especially early. So there's that. Okay, we've got the Lance Charge Breakers. Maybe we give you a few more. I do kind of want to drop another dude on top of these knights. Or the trolls. The problem is, I've kind of lost some of my confidence. I really need... I think it's going to be Golem time soon, but, well, I mean soon. By soon, I mean in a long freaking time. But it's going to come. We're going to do Arcane Nexus, guys. That is the play. Now the good thing is if I move here, and then I have all the gems, and then I move here, Acid Storm can still really wreck me, though. It's really a sword with no hilt. It is a sword with no hilt. Do I have armor I can bring him at least? Let's bring you some armor. Do we have a hat? No. I think Acid Storm... I don't know how it works with magic armor, but I think it may break that too. Well, we're going to put armor on you, bud. Vary it out with this guy. I think the play is going to be, we're going to teleport all our guys here. We're going to have a big pitched fight. I wonder if I can save that guy. Have we gotten rid of all our disease? We made this little Cure-All Elixir, which cost 1,000,000 gems. But I think so far... These guys are expensive, right? If you look at them, they're 315 gold. And they're sacred, so they're my best researcher, I think. Let's double check. They're going to give me, in my Dominion, 13 research points for an upkeep of 126. So that's like 10 gold and 10 gold a research point versus these guys who I think would be my next possible best, who are in my Dominion. They're 9. But they're 66. Okay, no, these are my best researchers. These guys are pretty useful, though. But shit, maybe I need to make more of these and less of these, because I do care about efficiency at this point. And I'm not really using these guys. I mean, I do teleport them around and stuff, but I have enough to do that. We might switch. Kind of pains me. It might be these have to be kind of my priority as researchers. It's going to free up a fair amount of money. I can't think of what I'm going to want a ton of these guys for. Maybe when I have to fight Relay, and I'm worried about... I think I need golems to fight Relay, because I don't want to bring astral mages that he can assassinate. We'll see. So, who do I mind hunt, or do I mind hunt? Honestly, fire elementals will tear this army up. The only risk of doing them is that they can get kind of murdered by... Now, if I kill the Pretender, I mean this commander, which, if we look at it, I'm going to be hitting for... Like, yeah, it's going to be like 4 morale versus 12, so I'm almost guaranteed to kill it. So I think we'll do it. I think we're going to mind hunt him. Then we're going to have to figure out what to kill him with. Mr. Hands is teleporting over here. We're going to have a battle there turn after next. I'm going to Cloud Trapeze over here. I think I've got all the gear I'm going to need from Mr. Hands. The Dominion here is going to be pretty high. I don't think you can preach any higher, bud. You can go back to researching. And, should we make... I think we're going to make a few more of these. And I know some of you are going to be like, no, don't spend your death gems on those. And we're actually getting to the point where our research is high enough where it's better to go ahead and start saving them. But I want to make a few more, I think. Okay, here's the thing with Skull Mentors. Is if this number is low, you need to make them. It's a good use of your death gems. If this number's high, then it's a bad use. And honestly, we're kind of on the high side. It's not a great use, but I don't have my death gem sinks yet. And I've got a lot of research I want to do. Like, I want to get here fast. If you think about getting here like one turn faster is worth spending some death gems. So that's what we're going to do. Now, we're also going to keep spamming out Dark Knowledge, because eventually my luck will turn around. I think we can hit it from here. We can. Okay. So this guy's site searching here for death. This guy's site searching here. We have to figure out what to do with this forger. God, I do want to keep this province, though. I know there's Movarks somewhere. There were Movarks here last turn. I'm really worried he moves Movarks... Or no, the Movarks were here, so he could have moved them here and I wouldn't really know. And then... Or he didn't move them here, but if he moved them here, they could potentially do an attack on top of this fort. But they're going to see my god here, so they're probably not going to. That's okay. We can also do Gift of Flight on our god. Like, I have a whole little fluffing routine we can do. I'm kind of thinking about... If he gets any more mages on top... If I kill his commander, so there's some risks. I'm thinking about, do I do Murdering Winter? Because I can go ahead and cast that now. I don't want to do Murdering Winter, because it's going to slow down my ability to do Maelstrom. And that is a huge weakness he has, compared to me. I don't give a shit about Murdering Winter, except for my human mages, which, you know, they just want to be Atlanteans. I'm not opposed to doing some Skelly spam, too. Let's bring you guys out and have you guys Skelly spam. Do we have Horde of Skeletons? Of course we do. More Lance Charge Breakers. Very good. Okay. Actually, we can do them in the middle. They'll just pop out in the front, and that way they won't get hit by a Lance Charge. Okay. He doesn't have enough to break this fort quickly either. And I do need to get on top of this. I think what we're going to do... Okay, we've got 2 fire mages here. We're definitely going to have enough to just break through. I really want... What am I going to need? I've got a lot of things I'm doing for the wrong reasons, I think. Why am I going Alt-6? I'm going Alt-6 because I want to have Manifest Vitriol, which got nerfed in the patch. It used to be 2 gems to cast this, and now it's 3. Makes this less attractive. Wave Warriors, which is okay. None of this is really going to help me against... like, win a battle against DS, which is my next objective. I need to be able to win battles against DS. I think we're going to cancel that. Boom. Done. Okay. Unless I go Alt-7. Alt-7 will let, with Marble Warriors, will let me win battles against DS. So that's a possibility. Enchantment is going to be the real winner for winning battles. Now, why was I going this? I was going this so that I could have somebody to cast Mass Regeneration that I didn't have to worry about, like, dying. A horrible, obnoxious death. But honestly, I can do it with a Jade Amazon who's Nature 2 and holds a staff. So I think we're going to do that. I don't need to win a ton. I need to win a big battle with a Jade Amazon and my army here attacking this. And I need regeneration. So we're going to cut out all this noise, and we're going to go from Evocation to Maelstrom straight to Mass Regeneration, which is Enchantment 8. This is one of the conflicts always, and I think the thing I have found helpful, and it's like when I do badly in games, I always come back to this, that I get distracted in terms of research. And you, honestly, a lot of times, and like, I'm thinking of my Hinnom game right now, which I'm probably not going to upload the whole thing because I've got my ass kicked, and I don't know how big of a spoiler that's going to be when you hear this, but honestly, like, I look at that and I'm like, okay, I had all these other things that I wanted to research for economy and this, that, and the other. But when it came down to it, especially after the early mid-game, none of the things I researched helped me win a war. And so I need to think about what are the things that's going to help me win a major battle to win a war. And right now, that's Evocation 7, which I already have, but I'm going 8 for economy, so that's fine. I'll forgive my sin for this, because I'm also going to steal a global from Yis, and I want to do this fast before he gets a lot of income. So next is going to be Enchantment 8, which is going to give me Mass Regen. And Mass Regen plus Acid Storm is going to win battles for me. Like, that's going to be major. And potentially plus Wooden Warriors. Well, no, because they're going to have fiery things they hit me with, so I don't know about that. But I don't have fire. Oh, I guess with Enchantment 8 I also get Fire Fin too, which is going to be really good against DS. So that seals it. That's definitely what we're doing. And I need a lot of troops to protect my mages when we end up going into that little conflict. The other thing I may want to do is to put my guys on Guard Commander around Initiates of the Deep and have them spam out Frozen Heart. Because I need kind of a lot of cheap commanders to do Guard Commander around. And I think these guys may actually be, like, very ideal. I want to put a fort up here, too. That might have to wait. A site search here for water. We're kind of stalling here until we have, I think, Mass Regen. Which, let's count the turns, right? So it's 2 turns to this, and then I'm going to have like 1,200 left over. That's going to basically take me almost all the way to... It'll probably, with my boosters, it'll probably get me to enchant 6 in 2 turns. And then this is going to be... like another... Probably another turn. So that'll be 3 turns, and then this will be 2 more turns, so this will be 5 turns from now. So in 5 turns from now, I'll have Mass Regen and Acid Storm. And I think with that, I can fight any army on the map right now. I mean, yeah. It's going to be... Except you can't do it underwater, but whatever. Okay. The only kind of weakness I'm going to have, I think, is MR, especially if I'm doing clusters of guys. Maybe I don't do this. Maybe I keep on this and just do hold and attack. And I just keep enough... Like, I just keep my mages guarded, basically. I think that's fine. I just have to make sure I get people guarding, like, my flanks. So I can put mages, like... I can have a mage in the middle, a mage here, and then that way the people that are going to come in are going to hit this and not all descend in. So these guys who are here can be doing things like Wave Warriors potentially, or I don't know what. Honestly, just getting Acid Storm up turn 1 is going to do a whole lot. Like, the Knights might not even really get to me. It's a punishing spell. Okay. I think it's kind of, in some ways, one of the strongest spells in the game, if I haven't said that already. Okay, let's go up here. How much siege strength do we have here? We have 147, so it's going to take 2 turns to knock through this, but that's okay. There's nothing inside. Okay. So, Lyra, by the way, you are the bomb. Lyra has successfully... This was a big deal taking this, because otherwise they could potentially have mages, they could gym bait me, they could do all sorts of things. Now I don't even care about gyms. Like, we're not going to script any of our gym shit. Good time to check. Because there's nothing... I know there's nothing inside that I'm even worried about. The gyms are only going to be when we're storming the fort. Everybody here is holding attack. Hold an attack. Hold an attack. Okay. Oh, Lyra, you got gems too? Okay, if we take this, we might be able to liberate some of these gems from these guys just in time to do Maelstrom, which would be nice. Our water income now is 30 flat. Okay. We can keep making lanterns. Here, I kind of want another thug kit. What are we missing in our thug kit? We've got this, we've got this, we've got this. We need a hat, which honestly, this would not be a bad hat, but nature gems I have plenty of. With my nature 2, I can get up to nature 5. I can actually cast Mother Oak right this turn if I wanted to. So I think we're going to start saving nature gems. What gem do I have that I don't mind spending? Like death, honestly. So how many? I think we'll put like 80 in this, which is not many turns for me. It's like 2 turns away we can cast Mother Oak. Alright, we're about to become a global powerhouse. We're going from no globals to, I think we're going to have 1, 2, and then we can steal Stellar Focus in a turn or 2. Probably put it up with 30, we can hold it for 70. Or 80. Maybe like 85 in case they overcast it. They wouldn't have early cast it for 85 or 100, I don't think. That would be very, very conservative. Okay. So I think we're very safe here. I need another hat. We kind of need a hat for this lady who's going to be teleporting in here too, so I might need to make... Earth is really the gem I have most to throw around, even though I'll be able to do Earthblood Deepwell soon. The big risk, some of these things I'm going to cast out, like Earthblood Deepwell will use my Pretender. I might hold off from that and just save up Earth Gems. And save up Earth Gems to do... Is that right? Yeah. Like an overpowering it once somebody else casts it. Especially in a game this big, if you're the first caster, you're probably not going to hold on to a lot of these very long. So, Black Steel Helmet. It's also kind of the thing with Disciples games, like, the more gems you have available, and especially when people team them up, like pool them together in a Disciples game, overcasting starts mattering even more. I think we're going to make another. Okay. So we're saving Astral. Have I sight searched on my Astral? Pretty high. If we see a 1, Honestly, 2s I kind of want to get to. But I think to get to 2s... Do we have both things? We need a crystal coin. I think... Wait, where's my crystal... Oh, it's on this person. No? Do I not have a crystal coin? I don't think I do. Shit. Honestly, we probably need to make a crystal coin with this guy. And I know this is going against our conserving astral, but we've got a while. We've probably got 10 turns until we could do Nexus. Which is going to be pretty early. A turn 60 Nexus would be really good. And then if we have Maelstrom up in like 3 turns, we're going to get a fair amount of income from that for pearls. And then potentially we can take these and put up Stellar Focus, which actually we'll have even sooner. I'm going to do another round of negotiation, trying to get more water gems. And wait, what's our siege strength? 147. Okay, so we'll break through it in 2 turns with a little bit of buffer, because it's only 250 wall integrity. This was actually a super clutch move, and I was really worried about doing it. It was probably my move I was most worried about this turn, because any basic counters would have killed them. It wasn't a very predictable move, I don't think, but if it worked, I was going to be in deep shit. But because I did it, all these people who retreated are now dead. And that's a big deal. Like 7 mages sitting in that fort would really change what I have to do to take this next fort. Like I can now be reasonably casual about it. Okay. So I think we have a plan, guys. We have a plan. We're teleporting people in here. Is there anything else I need to get inside there? I don't think so. I don't have an Earth Fluffer, which kind of sucks because I would normally have things like Iron Skin that I would cast on them by somebody else. I think I can live with that. Okay. I think that's it. I'm going through in my head this script that I'm going to put in this battle. I think what we're going to have to do... We don't have an Earth Fluffer. What's the script I have on my god now? Because this Temper Flesh, Flying Shield, Summon Earth... So I've been planning on having somebody to do that. I don't have any way to get an Earth guy in, because I would need Earth Astral. This is my only Earth Astral guy, and I'm not going to risk him dying. The other thing that I could do, and this is going to be how worried I am about Movark Knights, is like come in here and drop Fire Elementals, which honestly I don't think I'm going to do. Though maybe that would make sense. I do have these things just sitting around. And we could put like some armor on them. Or like this. Now it's like really low risk, because if I get hit, we're not going to die. I'm going to keep that. I don't think we're going to need the Vine Shield, but I don't want to risk taking it out. I want to have options for things to put on my Pretender if I feel I so need it. Okay. So we're going to snipe this commander, then I think we're going to run in. I think we're going to go ahead and move one of you out over this way too. Okay, you can go in 1 turn. Very nice. Can you go here? No, you can go here though. That's fine. You... Send you... Actually, let's send you up this way, too. I don't know what I want you to cast. Wooden Warriors would be good if we're fighting knights. I don't think that if the Movarks are here or here, I don't think they can move from there into here. Now, that would be 29. From here, it would be 33. Yeah. Maybe for them it would be a little less. Like, maybe it would be the equivalent of... like... 29? Yeah, they're not going to be able to make it. Put a couple gems on here just to give you options so you can do things. This will make them pretty tough against the knights. Like, if this script misses, like if the Mind Hunt misses, which is a chance, then we'll kind of be okay. Now, Fire Elementals just... Is it really worth... No, I don't think it is. I don't have any fire gems. I'd have to alchemize to get them. This is actually a little risky. Without any troops... I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Fire Elementals murder Heavy Cav because they have this hoof attack that hits on the fire shield. It's not going to be as good against Movarks. What I'm worried is they're going to kind of pour around the side. That's why I can have the swarm casting. I think we'll be okay if we spam Swarm. And I kind of do... This is a reasonably high-value province. And that'll be nice, because then I'll just kill the knights and I don't have to worry about them taking them somewhere else. I think we're just going to cast spells. Like... Okay. Now, if we get hit in melee, we're going to die, so I'm going to take this off. This was to protect it from, like, dying in one hit so we could do Ring of Returning, but we're gonna go a little ball deep here. It's a little risky. And we're also using a Nature 2, which is kind of valuable for me, but because I have Enchantresses, I'm gonna get plenty of Nature 2s, I think. And I've already got a few back here. But I am moving this one out. Maybe that's not the... Oh, I got one here. Okay. You're gonna go hide in my capital. Do I already have a Nature 2 here? I want to make sure I don't lose a Nature 2. Okay. So we're gonna keep one in our capital as an insurance policy. Have we used all of our gems and such? I mean, our research items. I think we have. So I think that's it for this turn. We're teleporting people in here. The only thing I'm really missing here that's kind of critical is I don't have anybody to cast Iron Skin, so I'm going to have to alter my God script. I think we'll have to get rid of Astral Shield, which hurts me, but I think it's what we have to do. I think this first one will have to be Iron Skin. And we're also going to have Regen popping off. And we're going to have Gift of Flight, and we're going to have Anti-Magic, and Body Ethereal, and Quickness, and a bunch of other goodies, while he's getting Focus Fired down by all the Astral Mages. We're going to have 2 Rings of Returning, which is good, we're keeping them in inventory. This mage, actually, I probably want to think about putting a Coral Sword on, because you are going to be one of the people, hopefully, trying to save... Save my god's ass.
Hello.
I think that's it. Oh, I'm in the voice channel. Shit, 1 second. So I don't know if you could hear that because the volume kind of gets muted for game sounds, which is what other kind of people's voices will get classified into. But that was Draco that just was like, hey, what's going on, man? I was in the voice channel for Discord. So anyway, it's been a long term, but I think we've done it. I think this is the best we can kind of manage. And all in all, I think things are going well. We've got our Dominion spreading here. Yeah, our Dominion is just doing great, and it's normally a problem with underwater nations. We're going to have it over here pretty soon. We're making more Coral Queens to continue the mission of spreading our Dominion. We are reasonably close to Dominion Strength 10, which will be the shit. All we need to do is build 2 more temples, so honestly that's going to be this one and this one. And once we have these 2 temples built, then yeah, we're going to be Dominion Strength 10. Which is huge. It means we can have 10 candles, which means once we get 10 candles in a province, it's going to be very hard to push our Dominion out. We're also going to dom push harder. And we're not done building forts and temples, so we'll get up. For those of you who watched my patch video a long time ago, this might be my first time to talk about it, but apparently I had kind of misunderstood because it wasn't very clear in the tooltip. But if you go above 10 Dominion Strength, like with more temples, you get, this number will go above 100, but that doesn't mean you can get 2 temple checks in a turn. You only get 1. So how it actually affects your Dominion and the Dominion pushing is actually kind of complicated. You're going to Dom Strength 11, which is something that's now possible, isn't going to give you more candles in a province. You can still only have 10. You can only get 1 temple check per temple check source, right? So you can't get 2 temple checks if you've got a 105% chance. What it does is when there is a Dominion conflict bonus, or when there's a Dominion conflict, like let's say I generate a candle here, and there's a way where when the candles propagate, it says, okay, we're not going to stay here, we're going to try to send the candle over this way to a random province, and it picks this one, which has enemy Dominion. The way it's going to determine if this is successful, if we reduce this candle by 1, because I'm sending 1 over this way, is it's going to take the current enemy Dominion, and it's going to compare it against not my Dominion the province came from, but against my Dominion strength, which in this case is going to be this number, not the number of candles that I have in any province. So what that's going to mean, the formula is actually my chance of when I say, hey, send a candle this way, it's going to do 50% plus my Dominion strength times 0.5, or 0.05, times 5%. So if it's 10, it's going to be 50 plus 50, because it's going to be 10 times 0.05, plus the original 50% chance. So that would be like 100% chance. But then it's going to be minus 0.5 times the number of candles they currently have. So in this case, they have 4. So, yeah, in that case, it would be like an 80% chance of when I send a candle this way that it would actually work. And so that number, if I got up to like 14, which is possible this game because I started with really high Dominion, then anytime there's a 4 candle province and I send a candle towards them, I'll have a 100% success rate. So you can have really high Dominion push. But it's still not as good as if you were to get like 11 or 12 candles. Then it would be even stronger. So that is, I believe, something that we will see this game, because it's going to go on a long time. This is not going to be a quick war with Yis, by the way, I don't think. It's going to be way quicker once I kill his freaking army. But the other thing, and I don't think I've talked about it, so Yis has Forge of the Ancients, and maybe I did talk about it last episode, but he's crapping out a ton of artifacts. So he got Forge up so that he could build the artifacts for a discount, which makes sense. We're not going to be able to steal Forge from him anytime terribly soon. But that's all right. He's not using them super duper well. I mean, he's having fun too with the Nation 2, which, by the way, guys, is something I totally like. I like that likes the way he's playing. He wants to make really cool items and put them on his really good commanders and run around and kill stuff. It's pretty cool. And I mean, he's playing well too. So, and he shouldn't have lost this stack on Pangea. It was like really, I think, a game bug or some kind of weird shit. Or at least I haven't currently figured out what it was. So I think that's it. I think we've done our turn. I think I can go ahead and submit it. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next episode.